and Laura, welcome back to the channel. Today we are at our 12th project.
And it is, again, another HMO conversion. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down exactly what we look for within these type of projects. Let's go and have a look.
Oh, it stinks so bad, mate. I feel like we should call it Chinchilla House.
So the more experienced you become as a property developer, the quicker you'll be able to analyse deals, and you should be able to know pretty instantly whether it's a deal worth investigating and pursuing further. I'm at a stage now where I can tell pretty comfortably within 10 seconds whether it's a deal and whether it could work for us and whether we want to go and book a viewing to investigate it further. These three main things that I first look for are price, floor plan and location, and we're going to break down those three categories a little bit further in more detail for you now.
So firstly, I know it sounds stupid, but looking at the floor plan. So how many rooms can we get out of the existing house? With the communal space, does that meet regulations and is that going to be large enough for them? And then thirdly, looking at the en-suites, how can we configure and how can we get those en-suites into the existing space?
As Laura's just alluded to, the original and existing floor plan for us is super important. Firstly, we don't want to be building extensions. They're an additional cost, and they also open a door for unknowns and variables, which means more risk. Secondly, we want to know if we can punch into the loft, and with that, we need to see, firstly, if there's enough loft space up there, and then secondly, where can we create the stairs? Where do we install the stairs on the middle floor to get up into the loft? This particular project is a massive tick for us because they've already done the loft extension.
With HMOs as well, you've got to think of all the compliance that comes with that. So one of the things we really factor in is fire escapes. So not only do we think about how we can maximise bedrooms, bathrooms, etc., we have to make sure that all the rooms are safe and all the fire exits can be accessed. For example, in this room on the original floor plan, it's great because we've got this door down here on a downstairs bedroom, which we can use as a fire door, but obviously we'd have to knock down this little conservatory, and with the regulations there are some of the small changes and stuff like the windows, but that's not something you'd necessarily have to worry about when first looking at that existing floor plan. That's pretty strong anyway, it might hold up in a fire. But we don't obviously see this on the floor plan, little things like this. But obviously when we come and do the viewing, just as a fire safety tip, this would obviously have to be compartmentalised and boarded so that no smoke and fire and stuff can get through here. But I think this is the kitchen that I'm stood in. This is actually used to be used to like serve food through. So there you So when we're sat at home and houses pop up and we have a little look at them on Rightmove, that's the first thing that we'll kind of delve into, just looking at the floor plan.
Now, I know what you might be thinking, and it's that, well, if you've got an architect, they should be doing all that for you. And you're absolutely right, they can, should, and will. But if you don't have a good level of understanding, how are you going to analyse these deals quickly and fastly within that 10-second time frame that I'll give you when they first come up?
Is fastly a word?
We're rolling with it.
Let's do it.
Our first commercial to resi scheme, which was an 8-bed all-ensuite HMO conversion, had different challenges. So if we put up the floor plans now, we'll go into them a little bit more detail as well. So immediately, as you can see, this floor plan as well does lend itself quite well to a HMO conversion. The stables on the left, we had to split into 2 bedrooms and 2 en-suites there, which was easily done. But the biggest issue we had was understanding that fire escape and safety routes needed to have a certain relationship with the bedrooms and the communal space. And the only way we're going to be able to maximise this scheme is if we put the kitchen and communal space in the corner at the back. It was also the biggest room back there, so it ended up being the best thing to do practically, but also the only thing we could really do from a fire safety compliance. Now, whilst looking at the first floor as well, which you can see did lend itself very well to HMO conversion, you can quite easily see where we can pinch these rooms and the en-suites from. One really good value add with the left-hand side on the stables was not just originally on the ground floor, converting that dead space to 2 bedrooms, but we also converted the loft space in that region to another bedroom, the 8th bedroom, which we called like the penthouse suite. It was a huge room and a really clever value add there.
So on this project that we're in today, from the floor plan, you can already see that the house has a great layout. Looking at the communal area, we can see that that's a great space, that kitchen and communal, nice and large. So we can have, again, the kitchen and that nice big living space that we always like to do. Finally, we can do our favourite trick. If you follow our videos, you'll see Ed talking about this in all of them, where we pull the entrance from the kitchen back into the corridor, where the stairs are, just giving you, where normally space is just wasted, we can kind of utilise that. If we look at the first floor, you'll see we have this weird little storeroom and bathroom, so we can already blend that together to make a larger room and an ensuite, which is always great on a floor plan. In the bedrooms, we'll get rid of the breast, so we've got more room. Bedroom 3 is a little bit smaller, but we can eat into space from bedroom 1, and that means that they'll both meet spatial standards. Also, in this house, it also has a loft converted into 2 rooms already, which helps us to save time and money. Now all we have to do is just make sure that we can fit the en-suites in practically.
So our second thing on our magic triangle is location. And firstly, is it central? That may be pivotal to, first of all, the demand of people wanting to live there, but secondly, how planning applications might be viewed.
Secondly, based on location, like, do people actually want to live there? Is it a nice area? Is it desirable?
Thirdly, local amenities. What I mean by that is, are there shops nearby? Is there a train station nearby? Is the bus station nearby? How are people going to interact and move around?
And for parking, for obvious reasons, can your tenants park? Or if you're going through planning, is that going to be an issue that you need to think about? Before we tell you the third bit of the triangle, we're not actually going to tell you unless you like and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully this just cuts off now if they don't.
Do it.
Can you do that?
Do it. Oh, what, Phil or the viewers?
Phil, like, just put like a black screen up of like...
Yeah, nice. So now that you guys have liked, shared and subscribed, we can now talk about numbers. So price is always a funny one because obviously it varies as to what you're looking at and where you are. So you need to establish in your market what is a good price point for you. Not only that, you need to know what your rate of return and what your goals are, because that will also vary as to what you might be happy purchasing a certain project at. So for us, we know exactly when I combine the floor plan, the location, and a certain price point, if a certain price point doesn't align with the other two, then I know it's not even worth pursuing and investigating. Another top tip is the price is just the labelled price. If you spot that a vendor is motivated, you may be able to get a much bigger discount.
With pricing, a lot of people fixate on whether they can get it below market value. One thing we consider is, can we add value to it once we've brought it? So instead of thinking of squeezing this little bit, are we going to be able to make this bit go up? And that's another thing just to kind of consider.
So our purchase price is obviously super important, but one thing we need to factor in is how much our conversion or refurbish is going to cost as well. Simply, A plus B needs to be much less than C, which is our GDV. And the bit in between is obviously our margin. And it's not as simple as A plus B because there are other professional fees and many more other costs that we won't go into. But you need a good understanding of how much a conversion is going to cost by looking at, first of all, the floor plan and then the viewing as well. So there we have it, guys. That's our magic triangle that we look for when we're looking at and analysing a property or potential project. The floor plan, the location, and the price. Super important.
So stay tuned, make sure you give us a follow, like and subscribe, or find us on Instagram so you can follow this project and see what it looks like at the end.